Today I am bringing you my entire owned physical and also Kindle TBR. This is a video that I've made every year, I think for the past 3 years, 2 or 3 years, and it's just a way for me to get your book recommendations. So usually at some point in the year I make a video where I read books that you have recommended me from this video that I own either physically or on my Kindle. This year I've also decided that if I have less than 50 books on my physical TBR, then I'm going to try and read them all in 2024. I have no idea how many books I actually own physically. I know that I have around 100 books on my Kindle, less than 100 books now actually, because last year, for the first time in a really long time, I got my Kindle TBR under 100. So I reckon I have probably got about 140 to 150 books on my TBR, with around 50 of those being physical books that I own. But we're not going to ramble too much. If you see any books as we go through this video that you would like to see me read, either because you've read them or because you'd just like to get my thoughts on them, then please let me know in the comments. You can either leave a list of books in one comment or just several comments with several different books, like a book per comment is what I was trying to say there. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I will just use a random number generator when I come to make my recommendations video, like the video where I read your recommendations. Before I forget, we're also not going to be including books that I have access to, but that my partner owns and has already read. Okay, so first up we have the Ending Fire trilogy by Sarah El-Arifi. I haven't read any of these books. We have The Final Strife, The Battle Drum, and The Ending Fire. House of Marion by J.L. Shield Maiden by Sharon Emmerichs. The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. The Book of Eve by Meg Clothier. Long Live Evil by Sarah Rees Brennan. Silver Under Nightfall by Rin Chapeko. Talon's Sister by Jen Williams. A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. Way of the Argosy by Sebastian D. Castell. The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. A Master of Jin by P. Jelly Clark. The Mask Falling by Samantha Shannon. Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I'm not actually sure on the name of the series, but we have City of Last Chances, House of Open Wounds, and Days of Shattered Faith by Adrian Tchaikovsky. The Immortality Thief by Taron Hunt. Starter Villain by John Scalzi. The Spear Cuts Through Water and The Vanished Birds by Simon Jimenez. The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I don't want to get all of these individual books out, but we also have Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. Pantomime, Shadow Play, and Masquerade by L.R. Lamb. I believe the series is called the Micah Gray trilogy. Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. The Wedding Witch by Erin Sterling. My Mechanical Romance by Olivia Blake. Chain Gang All Stars by Nana Kwame Adehi Brenya. Monstrilio by Gerardo Simona Cordova. Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson. Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. Okay, I've just popped into the other room to grab all of my literary fiction, contemporary fiction, and classics. Little Prisons by Iona Bannister. Maps of Our Spectacular Bodies by Maddie Mortimer. Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mendel. The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. Detransition Baby by Tori Peters. Freshwater by Akweke Emeze. Brit Marie Was Here by Frederick Backman. American Royals by Catherine McGee. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Mansfield Park and Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. And Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. I'm a little bit concerned that I've only been filming for 20 minutes and I've already gone through my entire physical TBR. Obviously I won't know until I start editing this video whether that number is under 50, but I will put the final number on the screen here so you can see. If it's under 50, then I am gonna try and read all of these books before the end of the year. I am gonna quickly go through my digital TBR. I was really proud of myself last year because for the first time ever, well, not ever, but for the first time in years, I managed to get my Kindle TBR below 100 books, and I want to keep it that way. That is my only goal for 2025, is to keep my Kindle TBR below 100 books. But we are going to go through these books just in case you are curious, and you're still welcome to recommend me books from my Kindle TBR. In fact, I tend to read more on my Kindle, so absolutely fine if you want to recommend me books from my digital TBR. Okay, I filtered based on my unread books, and before I forget, some of these books I do own physically, so in those cases I might just skip over them, or if I do mention them then they're not going to count towards the total tally for my own TBR. But first up we have The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu, Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, Gomez. Butter by Asako Yuzuki. I do own a physical copy of this, but I'm currently reading it, which is why it's in the other room. The Ministry of Time by Kellyanne Bradley. Night Watching by Tracy Sierra. The Answer Is No by Frederick Backman. Will Prescribe You a Cat by Siyu Ishida. A Tribute of Fire by Soraya Wilson. Apprentice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayra. The Life She Wanted by Anitul Abriel. Lady of Darkness by Melissa K. Rorick. Violetta by Isabel Allende. Tales from the Cafe by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. Sing Wild Bird Sing by Jacqueline O'Mahony. Our Missing Hearts by Celeste Ing. When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamura. Crown of Feathers by Nikki Palpreto. My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Tessa Moshfig. Bookshop and the Barbarian and Only When It's Us are books that I DNF'd, but I still have them on my TBR if you think I should give them another go. The Fires by Sigridur Hageland Bjornsdottir. Night Angels by Vina Dye Randall. My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologies by Frederick Backman. Pestilence by Laura Thalassa. The Defence, the Plea, The Devil's Advocate and the Accomplice by Steve Kavanagh. Us Against You by Frederick Backman. The Stroke of Winter by Wendy Webb. A Shadow in the Ember by Jennifer L. Armentrout. The War of Two Queens by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Reputation by Lex Croucher. Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. Broken Summer by J.M. Lee. Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. The Liar's Girl by Catherine Ryan Howard. West Side Love Story by Priscilla Oliveras. The Witcher by Andrzej Sapkowski. This Is How You Lose the Time War is another book that I DNF'd, however I would be willing to give it another go because I think I wasn't in the right mindset the first time around. Red Rising by Pierce Brown. North to Paradise by Usman Umar. A Train to Moscow by Elena Gorakova. The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sulin Tan. Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. Master of Sorrows by Justin Call. A Memory Called Empire by Arcadia Martin. Kingdom of the Cursed by Kerry Maniscalco. Iron Widow by Zoran Zhao. The Burning Girls by CJ Tudor. Traitor's Blade by Sebastian D. Castell. The Five by Hallie Rubenhold. The Couple by Helly Acton. The Appeal by Janice Hallett. The Devil and the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. I Have Always Been Me by Precious Brady Davis. The Girl with the Louding Voice by Abby Dare. Empire of Sand by Tasha Suri. The Way of Kings and Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. Wolf by Ryan Groudon. Confessions of a Curious Bookseller by Elizabeth Green. Ready Player One by Ernest Klein. Why Mummy Drinks and Why Mummy Swears by Gil Sims. China Rich Girlfriend and Rich People Problems by Kevin Kwan. I Am Pilgrim by Terry Hayes. Opium and Absinthe by Lydia Kang. Sorry I Missed You by Susie Krauss. Once Upon a River by Diane Setterfield. Mixtape by Jane Sanderson. The Prison Doctor by Dr. Amanda Brown. Caging Skies by Christine Lunens. When I Was You by Minka Kent. Three Women by Lisa Tadeo. Friend Request by Laura Marshall. The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. The Bees by Laylene Paul. Funny story, I actually bought that first and then realised I'd purchased the wrong book. Poldark by Winston Graham. Of course my camera battery ran out when I literally only had 5 more books to go, but next up we have 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup. Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. The 39 Steps by John Buchan. A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling. The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Emma by Jane Austen. Persuasion by Jane Austen and Mansfield Park by Jane Austen, which I think is actually one of the books that I own physically. I feel like this hasn't taken me as long to film as it has in previous years, so hopefully that's a good sign that I don't actually have as many books as I am expecting. But as I said at the start of this video, please let me know in the comments if you would recommend any of these or if there's any books in particular that you would like to see me read. The final number will be on the screen here and you will already know whether I do have to try and read my entire own TBR before the end of the year. But yeah, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and click subscribe if you would like to see more videos from me, but otherwise I will see you next time. Bye!